Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow of Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
What's going on? Make sure you check out our new sponsor, Cell Phone Buyers Recyclers. They pay cash for smartphones and tablets. Like and share their social media pages, Facebook and Instagram, and websites in the description for a chance to win an iPhone. What you waiting on? Hurry up and go get that iPhone. All right, man. Floyd Mayweather said he wants to be a boxing trainer in the wake of or post Roger Mayweather's death. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And I think Floyd is feeling it, bro. I think life is humbling Floyd. And I'm not saying that he needed to be humble. You know what I'm saying? I think he portrays an image to keep up with the Money Mayweather moniker. But I think life is teaching him a bit that, you know, he's taking him back to, you know, when he had interviews on HBO when he said the money and the cars and the clothes and all that shit don't matter. He just want to live a long time. And, you know, Floyd, people don't know, Floyd was trained Jalen Love when he fought Derek Finley in Detroit. I went to that fight. So Floyd got a little bit of a corner experience. I mean, he had, you know, some of the, you know, best trainers in boxing, you know, just at the Mayweather gym. I mean, you had his father, Floyd Sr., you had Roger, rest in power. You had Jeff that was there. You know what I'm saying? And then you still had Eddie Mustafa Muhammad that was in the gym as well. You had Mike McCullum in the gym as well. So, you know, he could pick from a lot of people's brains just out that gym. And you had current trainers that probably can teach him something about training. You got Kenny Porter that used to be at the gym. You got Teofimo Lopez Sr. that'll be at the gym. They can tell him what the dynamic is on the other side training your son, because he's always been, like he said on the post, on the other side of the midst. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think it's good. Floyd would be a great trainer if he can leave his ego at the door. If he don't make it about Floyd and, oh, this is how I used to do it in the press conference. The fighters don't want to hear that. The fighter, especially from the promoter standpoint, the trainer standpoint, the fighter just wanted it to be about them. They don't want to be fighting for fame. And you see that with the father-son dynamic, Shane and his father. You know, it's kind of I'm my own man, and I want it to be about me, not about you. And a lot of times the father lives vicariously through the son. And with Floyd, I think that might be a dynamic with some of his fighters where either with Tank, he look at Tank probably as a son. He always bringing his career up. Well, I tell Tank this. He got to check that shit at the door. It got to be about the fighter unless the interviewer asks you about your career. You know, let it be about the fighter. Be a trainer. Answer trainer-like questions. And part of being a trainer is also helping with the matchmaking. Knowing when a fighter ready, knowing when he not ready. What Floyd promoter had on and promoting these fighters, he always taking the route of least resistance to protect his assets. But at some point, you got to take a risk. At some point, you got to go back into pretty boy mindset and take a risk. And when it come down to it, you know, Floyd got to exclusively be a trainer in training situations. Now, he said he working with fighters with no experience. That's great. They can grow together. Floyd know this, know that. But he got to know the trainer part of the job is the shit in part of the job. He got the money. He don't need the bread. But they always get the blame. You know, Freddie Roach was chasing Frankie Gomez in the street. Could have been one of the top fighters today, wanted to stay in the street. So you got to remember, you got to work with guys that want to be dedicated to the craft. You can't just train everybody. You know, when you feel like you want to get to that level, you got to look dudes in their eyes, and Floyd can do that because Floyd ain't money hungry. You got to be able to sit down and look these dudes in the eyes like Teddy Atlas do. You lay out what he do well, what he don't do well. When you get to working with, you know, pro fighters, you know, that actually got some experience. What he don't do well, what he do well. Attitude, like, you're going to have a lot of trials, you know what I'm saying? That flying and shit with all the chicks, unless you're going to keep your stable small, you know. And I think he's going to go to Roy Jones route, but I will kind of touch on that in a minute. But keep your shit small. You know, keep it small. You know, for right now, if you get to that point, keep it small, and you got to get guys that's with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, personally, I would get guys who was dedicated and probably who father was around, to be honest, that's around their career. You know, I would get guys like that. If I get the daddy step away from coaching or just manage or whatever, I would get guys like that, because those guys tend to be more dedicated, have more tunnel vision. Look at Lopez, look at Sean. You don't see them all out of shape. You look at Robbie Jr. I would kind of tend to work with more guys like that. I don't want to work with the Broners. I don't want to work with guys that's not disciplined. I want to work with guys like Crawford, who I ain't got to tell to come in here and go find him in the streets and get here. I work with guys that's disciplined. They guys that want to come in the gym and work. And I will keep my professional stable small as shit. And if I'm Floyd, hey, maybe I want to run USA boxing. He got a lot to give there when I catch up to speed. But if I'm him, I get a small amount of professional fighters, and I have a farm system of smaller fighters like Roy Jones. Now, if you don't know Roy Jones, if you don't follow Roy Jones worked with a lot of smaller fighters in the South, bro. Roy is paying, I don't say he got a debt to society, but Roy is giving back in a big, big way. Roy loved boxing. You know, he got a lot of the small guys. Shout out to the brother Michael Williams Jr. He working with a lot of guys you never heard of and trying to bring them up to speed. Roy loved boxing. Roy loves training those guys. He working with Chris Eubanks Jr. They quarantine together. You know what I'm saying? Roy doing a lot of stuff in the community, and Floyd could be like Roy. You know what I'm saying? Roy is just addicted to boxing. Roy has finally put the miss down, hopefully for good, and he found this next passion, and that's, you know, training kids. You know, that's true. Roy don't do it for the money. Roy do it because he love the kids, man. And could you imagine Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather one day running USA boxing? You know what I'm saying? It'd be epic, man. But for Floyd, I think it's a good look. You know, to be in the corner, he just got to check his ego. He got to take a step back. You know what I'm saying? He got to take a step back and say, it's not me being a promoter. It's not me being a fighter. I'm just on the other side. So it's good that he going to work with guys with no experience, bring them up through the amateur program. I think you should learn to be an amateur coach first and then become a boxing trainer as you go. He can be a boxing trainer because he know what it is, but to work with the youth and know how they operate, know how they talk, you know, it gives you an insight on where their mind is. You know, do you want to be professional, or you just doing this because your parents making you? So you get to weed out who want to do it, who don't want to do it. So then when you become a full-time professional trainer in a pro level, you look at it like you already know. You can look in his eyes and tell, oh, he ain't in it for that. He ain't in it for this. So Floyd gonna be a great X's and O's guy. And you know, Bernard could be a great coach if he wanted to go that route. Andre Ward can be a great coach if he wanted to go that route. Because these dudes was all about technique, fundamentals, how to systematically break these dudes. They know the art of boxing. They know how to breathe. They know how to keep their hands up. Floyd ain't gonna just train everybody in the Philly shell. I don't believe so. You know, he goes to the high guard. He gonna do what's best in a skill set. Show him how to turn over the punches. Teach him how footwork. Teach him the jab. He gonna have them. He gonna get you together. He gonna polish you. You know, he gonna polish you. You know, but he gotta be open to delegating, bro. You know, kicking the tires on Eddie. Probably calling Ronnie, calling Buddy. It's a fraternity, bro. It's a fraternity. He got to, you know, ask his father, hey, when a fighter do this, whoop-de-whoop, because everybody not like you. And everybody not like, you know, the guys that you came up with. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take some time, you know, for him to get adjusted. But with him working with fighters with no experience, that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's perfect. I know he also offered to train Robbie Jr. and show him how he can beat Mikey Garcia. You know, so I don't know how long he gonna stick with it, but I think everything that happened in his life is making him pretty much kind of step back. Like, man, I got so much more to give in this boxing stuff, and he's technically a marvel. You know, he's great technically, and if you get anybody that's great technically, and he can learn how to take his experiences and teach, that don't always translate though. Usually, the lesser athletes are the better coaches and trainers in sports. You know what Nas say on that? I let Nas now remix with J. Cole. He said it's hard for another great to tell another guy how to be great. You know, he said it's hard to be great to tell another, you know, somebody else how to be great. So if Floyd can take a step back, but Floyd just wasn't about athleticism, man. Floyd was about fundamentals and technique. So he know the game. You know, maybe he start off becoming the liaison in camp and be an extra pair of eyes. in professional camps and say, oh, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. It's a lot of guys that I think would be good trainers. Antonio Tarver, Floyd Mayweather. If they get chances and stuff of that nature, I think Andre Ward, Bernard Hopkins, they'll all be really good trainers. And I think Ward probably be really good because he don't have an ego like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't really have an ego. He can, a lot of guys probably can use them dudes in their corners and they can show them some things. There's a lot of things lacking in the pro game. It's stagnant with coaches, man. A lot of coaches don't belong, man. I ain't saying no names, but I've seen a few fighters that coaches don't know nothing about boxing, man. It's sad, man. But hey, it is what it is. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those links in the description. If you need to reach out for whatever situation it may be, want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal in the description. That's what to donate. Share the video. One time for the one time. We go.